videos of Warriors of Wrestling events, full-length matches, order tickets to future Warriors of Wrestling events, and an extensive DVD collection featuring past events, compilations, documentaries, and much, much more, only at warriorsofwrestling.com.
This is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius full of glory and renown. You are listening to Damage 365 Radio.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
What's going on, love? This is Ariane Andrew here. You guys are listening to Damage 365 Radio. Yes!
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to our sponsors, the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore in the English Town Flea Market, Blue Building, booths 46 through 48. Check them out every weekend from 8 till 3. That's Saturday and Sunday, of course. And Esposito's Pizza and Pasta of Manasquan and Matawan, New Jersey. And of course, the man on the phone, Warriors of Wrestling and warriorsofwrestling.com. Check them out on Facebook and at YouTube, and of course warriorsofwrestling.com for past shows, updated shows, video clips, and wonderful, lovely pictures of this man, the President Joe Bellini. Hi, Joe.
Well, you make me laugh. I'm sitting here listening to this show, and I'm like, I hear you talking about Richie DeGreg. Now, I'm not one ever to stick up for Richie DeGreg. I think you know that.
No, of course not.
But you talk about all the times we bring in Brooke. Now, you think if we weren't making money with Brooke Adams, I would say, Richie, it's not a good idea to keep bringing her in. But every time we bring her in, it's a home run. Now, tell me how you did with Nikki Adams and Aria Condenza.
There's a big difference between independent wrestlers and a girl that works on television.
Okay, but if she's making money, who cares if we bring her in every day?
Well, at least that, you could compare her to me bringing in Bob Orton.
You can't compare. You going to compare Bob Orton to Brooke Adams?
Well, Bob Orton, I bring back at least once a year. Yeah.
Fine, and you do go with him. But we're not losing money with Brooke. That's what I'm trying to explain. We're making money.
I'm not saying the whole thing wasn't about making money or losing money. It was just busting on Richie and coming up with a new T-shirt idea.
But Richie, again, I'm not one to stick up for Richie. He does we're bringing in Teddy Long. We've never had him before.
Well, not nice going. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. All right.
Well, the reason why is because I have Brooke on my show. That's why.
No, well, we're gonna get into that now. Thanks that you already. Oh, you ruined it. You ruined my intro, but that's all right. We'll let you slide because since you own the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is going to happen. Would you like to tell everybody when Brooke will be making her appearance and what other talent will be coming in with him?
Sure.
You
want to talk about June 10th first, or you want to go in chronological order and do June 9th first?
Let's do June 10th first, and then we'll get back to the women's show.
All right, let's do June 10th. All right, so June 10th at Fun Station, 3555 Victory Boulevard in Staten Island. As you said, as we both said, Brooke Adams will be there. Now, she will not only be there signing autographs. The last time she was there, that's really all she could do because she was pregnant.
Right.
Even though she did swing the Singapore stick at Rebel and Catred, she will be in action this time, tagging up with the Warriors of Wrestling Women's Champion, if she is a Women's Champion, after Friday night.
Right.
To take on Caitlin Diamond and Catred in tag team action. Also in action will be your guest, the Twisted Sisters, taking on me and my longtime partner, Jay Reynolds, the Wife Beaters, that me and him are known as. We haven't tagged together since, I'd have to say, the end of 2011. It's been a long, long time since me and Jay tagged up.
Mm-hmm.
But continuing on here, special appearances by another one of your two guests, the brother of the Macho Man, the genius Leaping Lanny Poffo,
right,
and the former voice of WCW, and he did a year in WWF as well, Tony Schiavone,
mm-hmm,
and 2017 Hall of Famer Teddy Long, player.
I know. I met at WrestleCon we all got to bump into everybody prior to the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then we got to bump into them again the next day after they were inducted. But it's gonna be nice for the fans to be able to meet another Hall of Famer in person. Me personally, I enjoy that more than anything. I think when these guys are inducted
Kevin,
into the Hall of Fame.
Kevin. You know, the Twisted Sisters will be there June night, the night before. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
The Twisted Sisters have been there before.
Right.
Then Holiday was there by herself back in March.
Mm-hmm.
But Tony Schiavone's not a guy that comes around every day.
No.
The genius, Tony Popo's not a guy that comes around every day.
Nope.
Nor is Teddy Long. So just for those three alone.
Yep.
I know you make jokes about Brooke that she's there all the time. Fine,
I just like busting Richie's chops. You know that. I personally, I love Brooke. I think she's a sweet lady. I think, she's one of those people that when she's she's a positive in the locker room. And
you want me to tell you what a nice person this is? And I was kind of surprised. You know, Richie DeGreg went the car, right? Because I don't know what happened to his car. So we're leaving the ECW arena after the Icons thing, right? We're going to go to this mall in Pennsylvania somewhere, right?
Yes.
So it's raining out, and it's raining a good rain. I'm behind her. I'm behind Richie, and Brooke is in the car with Richie, Christy Hemme, and the other girl, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
They're at a light. There's a guy walking across the street, a homeless guy, with a bag of food, and the bag breaks in the middle of the other side of the street, and he just leaves and walks away. Brooke gets out of the car, and I think she was crazy to do this number one in that area. But the light turns green, and she's picking up all this guy's stuff, and she puts it on the sidewalk. And the guy ended up believing it anyway. I think some other homeless people got it, but that's the type of person that this lady is. I think that was really classy for her to do.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart and very talented.
That's that Richie would get out of the car and do it.
Yeah, it's bad enough Richie's driving the car.
yeah, that's another story in itself.
Yeah, we don't call him Crash Dummy for nothing.
Al Snow told me some stories about Richie in the car with his father and how they sit there and argue and they miss the exit.
Yeah. Yeah. I also heard a story how he came very close to one of those guardrail walls coming off an exit that he had the talent in his car shitting their pants. So. You know he's going nuts right now. You're burying me. Oh, my God. All right, so getting back to June 10th, you mentioned you guys are going to be taking on the Twisted Sisters. Now, I spoke to you about this, and, you told me, they need to expect that they're going to get a beating.
They're going to get a beating.
Now, how can you be so confident of a team that you're going against? There's so much cohesiveness between them, and they've been working nonstop with each other. I don't know. I'm not going to say how long, but I mean definitely for this whole year, nonstop. And your partner hasn't been in the ring in 6 years.
Well, you're right. They've been wrestling together for about a year, maybe 14 months. I know this. I know that's when they started tagging in March of 16.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the beginning of me. When I started wrestling, Jay Reynolds was one of the guys that helped me along. And when me and B.A. Kid were doing the wife beater gimmick, he was in a tag team called the New Breed with another guy who trained me. And we wrestled each other all the time. And when we did the wife beater gimmick, I mean, we have years of knowing each other. I'm not worried about Jay in this match.
You think he's just going to get back in the ring and just going to click?
We're going to hit all our moves on these two girls, and they're not going to like it.
Yeah, we spoke about this, and Joe's a very 1980s guy. He's a big 80s wrestling fan, and so expect to see at least 4 80s tag team famous finishers. So, I'm telling you. Oh, man. They told me that you guys should just keep talking, running your mouth. You're underestimating them, and they feel...
I am not underestimating anybody, but...
They feel they're going to have the last laugh.
But once I get my hands on Thunder Rosa, you see what happened when I just picked her up and dropped her on her ass.
Well, to their credit...
And I'm the small one of my team.
To their credit... You were out of the ring a lot during that match, so they really didn't get a chance to get their hands on you.
What happened when I was in there?
They did get their hands on your tag team partner, though.
Yeah, and that was the downfall of her.
That's a story for a whole nother show prior. Go back to our archives. Show number 11.
Please, because I'll end up in jail. I'm going to get locked up for a felony for talking bad about somebody.
Episode 7 and 11.
What episode is this? What is this? 9?
This is 14.
This is 14. Okay.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Wait a minute. 14 of what? You start at number 1 at the beginning of the year. Is that how it works?
Yeah, first Sunday of the year, but there was, some pay-per-view weekends.
Right.
We took off. We never do a Sunday show on a convention weekend.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
We would have to do it on the road. Which we tried to do on the way home from WrestleCon, but we the signal was only good enough to watch WrestleMania.
I think I'm done going to WrestleMania that's outside.
Why? Well, it's too hot. Was it hot? Oh, well, you couldn't see that.
Well, no, it was cold. Tony had to go buy a hoodie that was like $70, and I started getting cold. But the problem is, if you don't get good seats, and I didn't realize this, them posts blocked the whole ring. I had to watch it on the screen. I was better off to sit in my hotel watching it.
Yeah.
If it's inside, like next year it's inside, and I don't know what's going to happen next year, but like Dallas was fine because you don't have these gigantic, posts in the middle of the, your view.
Well, that's more of a state-of-art, modern stadium. The Superdome, I'm sure you're going to have there's going to be issues with people up high, and some of the people I know that went to the last show at the Superdome, the one that Hogan was calling it the Silverdome, the acoustics are very bad. The higher you are, the more echo there is.
Well, Kev, when I was in Dallas, you couldn't hear the banging of the mat. That's how far up I was, and that's probably the best stadium I've ever been to.
Yeah. Well, their mats are different too, though, because every live event I go to, like we just went to Raw, and we sat 10 rows from the ring. When they're getting body slammed, it doesn't sound like what you guys go through. There's no bouncing of boards, and it's very soft, and I'm sure they got a lot more cushion between the ring apron and the wooden boards.
Well, they're paying their guys millions of dollars not to get hurt, so
yeah.
You can imagine their ring is a lot softer.
So that's even more respect that independent wrestlers should get, because of look at the conditions a lot of them have to wrestle on. I mean, you're getting wrestled on a blanket covering 2x4s. Come on. It's literally a blanket and those little padded things that the kids put in the playroom so they don't hit their head on the floor.
I just want to give you an update. Richie DeGreg is traveling on the Port Authority bus back to Staten Island as we speak.
Oh, what is he doing in the city?
I don't know. I don't fucking no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's another match. We got the championship match. We got former No Limits champion and a guy who super kicked you in the face last event, Chris Steeler, taking on your champion Jason Karloff.
Yeah, Chris Steeler wants the title shot so bad he's got it after he lost in Brooklyn on Friday night the 12th. I'll give him his last shot. I'll deal with him in due time. But like I said, with the wife beater thing, I can't really deal with Steeler this show. But we're both in the Rumble. We're both in the Ultimate Survival match on July 8th. So maybe I'll pass across then.
Now you got a tag team battle royal in this card on the 10th. And now, the winner of this is also going to compete later on and take on the champions. Am I reading that?
That's right. We have a bunch of tag teams in this battle royal, and the winner of this battle royal takes on Experience later on that night, or maybe right after the match. I don't know.
Oof. That's rough.
I haven't decided yet.
That's rough. And then we had the match that you named before, Brooke and Nikki Adams, the women's champion, if she's still the champion from the night before, taking on Katrid and Caitlin Diamond. Now, you're not that familiar with Caitlin Diamond, obviously.
No, I'm not.
I'm very familiar with Caitlin. She's well-traveled. She's from Canada. She's wrestled, obviously, in the United States. She's wrestled in Japan and Canada. She's very polished, very quiet, though. But can she trust Katrid?
Probably not. Probably not. That's another opportunist girl. If she was in that match against me in Brooklyn, the 8-man tag, it was me, Juba, Sonny Kiss, and Jose Salvador versus the 4 members of the Hostile Collective. And she came in on me, of course, after I was kicked around and beat up, and then she got her licks on me. That's another one I'm going to get my hands on and smack the shit out of.
Now, I saw a little promo. I probably should have played it on the show, but Hostile Collective posted a video promo